Okay, I have 19 minutes of recording time. Yay! Okay. Dirt on my bed. Don't like it. What's up, guys? I am Laura, as you know, and this is my bed. I actually have not posted any videos from home on my YouTube channel yet, so this will be a first. I'm actually recording this video on my camera, and this is more of just a sit down and talk video, because it is December 30th, currently recording this video. This probably isn't going to get up until after New Year's, so Happy New Year! Happy 2020! It's crazy to think that on January 1st, I will have been alive for 2 decades. And my birthday's in December. I'm 19 currently. Yes, just turned 19. I will have lived through 2 decades, technically. But yes. So, basically, I wrote this whole long thing out on my phone about... Let me find it. I wrote this whole long thing out on my phone about, basically my year in a review, basically. I think I started writing it the beginning of December. I started thinking about how, at the end of the year, it's so easy for everyone to say that, oh, this year was the worst, and, I can't wait for the next year, because, everybody wants a clean slate, and it's always nice to start off on a clean slate, and I feel like taking my watch off because it's just annoying me a little bit, but, I understand wanting to start off on a clean slate, but every year, at the end of the year, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this year was so horrible, next year's gonna be better, it's gonna be the best, come on guys, let's make the next year the best one yet, and yet still at the end of the year, everybody is like, oh my gosh, this year was the worst. But I started thinking about my 2019 as, compared to my 2018, and my 2018, yes, was, a good year for me. I had a good, 2018 was a pretty good year, but so far, in this decade, 2019 has probably, actually, in, my whole life, 2019 has probably been my most interesting and, full year, of life, basically, because just a lot of stuff happened, and I grew up a lot in 2019. So, basically, this is what I have written out, about my year in review. So, yeah, 2018 was great. I was in New York City for New Year's. I saw Phantom live. I was rocking semi-short hair. I went to my first DECA state competition. I gained a niece. I saw Why Don't We in concert. I went to my first prom. I started my senior year of high school. I got the supporting role of an awesome play. I competed in my last NCTC. I made some new best friends. I submitted my portfolio to get into NC State. I wrote and directed a one-act play. I got a lead in the Advanced Theater Showcase. I won my second DECA medal. I turned 18. I not only saw Why Don't We and Sabrina Carpenter in concert, I also got to meet them. I was one of 48 who got an interview for my major, and I was accepted into the college of my dreams. That is basically my 2018 in, summed up, in accomplishments and, notable things that have happened in my life in 2018. And, reading through all those, that's a lot. like, a lot happened, and that's not even talking about what happened over the summer, because, like, not a lot happened in the summer. But I have to admit, like, 2018 was pretty good for me, but 2019 is by far, like, I just lived more. Like, I experienced more of life in 2019. I became more of who I am. And so this is what I wrote. Yes, a lot of good things happened to me in 2018, but I've lived the most life in 2019. I got into my first car accident. I just ran off the road. The very first thing that started out my entire 2019 was I got into my first car accident. And I say accident lightly because what happened was I just ran off the road and my car hit a ditch. I was driving a big SUV. And my car hit the ditch and jumped and landed on a barbed wire fence. The front bumper landed on a barbed wire fence. And that was very, like, traumatic to me. And that was in, like, the first few days of 2019. I was like, wow, I really hope this is not, like, a sign of how my year is gonna go. And luckily it wasn't. But the first time I had ever been in an accident, I had my license since April of 2017? Had to be. Because I was 16 by that time. But yeah, April of 2017 is when I got my license, and it was until January 2019. Yeah. But I'm a really careful driver, so that was, like, really big. That was, like, really big for me. I was shaking. I was terrified. I performed my last high school play, and it was so bittersweet. I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself that night. I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, because I'm having, like, an existential crisis over here over performing my last high school play. I got my first boyfriend, and I was really happy. I started my last semester of high school, which was a big deal. I only had 2 classes, but I had 2 out of 4. I didn't have a first or a fourth period, so I came in late and left early, so that was nice. But it was like, you know, it was my last semester of high school. Like, I only had 1 semester left before I had to be a grown-up and go out into the big scary world. I went to my last DECA state competition, which, again, was so bittersweet. That was just, DECA state competitions are just insanely fun and crazy. And so the fact that it was my last one, and the year before was my first one, it was just like, why didn't I do this sooner? So, yeah. I went to my last high school prom, and with a date this time. First time I'd ever gone with a date to any kind of school dance function thing. We'd had dances in middle school, but, like, those were, like, right after school, and you didn't really have a date to those because it was middle school. And there were other dances that we had, like, I think my sophomore year we had a Sadie Hawkins dance. Junior year we had the snowball. Senior year we were going to have the snowball, but it fell through. And then prom. Junior year and prom senior year. So that was the first time I'd ever had, like, a date to, like, any kind of, like, dance or school function thing. So that was interesting to me, because we don't have homecoming dances, so. I had all kinds of senior fun. Skip day, commitment day, senior picnic, senior walk, my graduation party. Skip day was really fun. I actually, wasn't technically a skip day for me. I had to go to first period. Or, not even first, because I didn't have first period. I had to go second period. And then I left. But it didn't matter anyways, because me and my 2 friends were going to Carowinds for skip day, so and Carowinds didn't open till 9 anyways, and I got out of second period around, like, 10-ish, I want to say. So it didn't matter anyways. Commitment day, basically, commitment day, the senior picnic, and awards day was all the same thing. It was all the same day. The commitment day was pretty cool. They have like a poster with like your college on it, and you go and you sign it with all the other kids who are going to that same college and that are from your high school, obviously. And you take a picture with them. I don't know what they ever do with those posters because they never hang them up. Never seen them around school. And I don't know what they do with the pictures. Who knows? Because they don't put them in the yearbook because the yearbooks are already done by then. Commitment day was fun. I did love that. And the senior picnic, even though it was kind of short and a little boring, but it was still fun.
But it's like really passive aggressive. Poop helps the soil. I'm just helping with it.
I was dumped for the first time and experienced actual real heartbreak. I graduated, which was probably the most proud, sad, and bittersweet moment of my life. All summer I dealt with all the ups and downs of having my heart broken. I went to my freshman orientation and it still felt like it wasn't real that I was going to my dream school. I left home and moved into my dream school. I went to my first college party. I started my YouTube channel. I've dealt with the struggles of college and being on my own. I turned 19 and I spent my first birthday ever without my family. I finished my first semester of college and passed, by the way. Yeah. And this is basically my conclusion to this whole thing. But it's not just about the things that happened to me. It's about how they affected me. I've had the most personal growth in this year. I'm more responsible, more confident, more brave, more sure of myself, more resilient, more independent. I have the highest sense of self-worth that I have ever had. I'm less scared, less afraid of the future, less lazy, less childish, I guess. Not so much, really, but there's not a lot of things that I'm less of, but there's a lot of things that I'm more of now. Like, I really, really grew up this year, especially, like, in August. Like, when I moved into college, it's almost like a switch flipped in me, and I was way more responsible than I have ever been. And just 2019, for me, my 2019, which this is what this is about, my 2019 was really good. Like, incredible. And, you know, there was a lot of ups and downs. There was good things and there were bad things. I mean, like I said, I got my first boyfriend and I was 18 when that happened. Like, that's an experience. That's something different than most people, you know. Most other people date before, you know, they're 18. But not me, apparently. And the same year I got my first boyfriend was the same year I got dumped for the first time. And I experienced actual real heartbreak. And I was actually dumped twice. But we're not going to get into that. But I experienced, like, it's one thing to, like, listen to all these breakup songs and, like, think you know how it feels. But when you go through actual heartbreak, those songs really do speak to you. And you really do start to understand, like, what it is like for someone to actually break your heart. And, you know, it's just a lot of things happened. But like I said, it's not just the things that happened to me, it's how they affected me. End of junior year, beginning of senior year was my 2018. And like I said, it was great. I got a supporting role in a play that I loved. And I wrote and directed and put on a one-act play. And that was an experience that I will never forget. And my niece was born. A lot of things happened in 2018, and a lot of things happened in 2019, but I feel like bigger things happened in 2019, and they affected me way more, because the things that happened in 2018 didn't really affect me as much. I still stayed the same person that I was, but 2019 has really changed me as a person. And so, like, you know, being dumped, I seem to be a little bit more guarded. I'm realizing that I don't really need to be worried about what guys think of me, and just, you know, focus on myself. Stop, like, looking for guys. Like, focus on myself and school and, like, what needs to get done there. And being mature, like, being responsible, you know, making sure that I'm get up on time and go to class and all this, you know, I'm way more responsible now and resilient and independent and all those things. So I would say that pretty much my 2019 has been the best year of my entire life. And that's kind of weird to say because I've only been alive for 19 years. So it's weird to say that 2019 is the best year of my life. One, because it makes it, I feel like saying that makes me seem so much older, but then I realize that I've only been alive for 19 years. But just, I don't know about anybody else. I mean, I know a lot of bad things have happened this year. Bad things happen every year. It's life. You know, bad things happen to everyone, everywhere, every year, every day. Bad things happen. But that's life, and we just gotta keep going. But you gotta take the good with the bad. And that's just life. How did this get into me talking about life? I was talking about my 2019, like, year in review. If this is focused right. Hello. Crumbs. Okay, this is solely a test. My gosh, what is on my bed? This is why you don't let other people eat food in your bed. By the way. And I don't know why I keep, like, avoiding eye contact with the camera, but I am. That should work better. There we go. Okay. So, but yes, such an idiot. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I got my first boyfriend. I don't really know when to, like, I put all of these in, like, chronological order, but I don't really know how to, like, gauge when we started dating. I just say it's somewhere in the month of January, but, so, coming up, our 1-year anniversary. Love that. Moving on. And I was really happy at the time. And I feel like sitting like this is kind of weird, but there's a hole in my jeans right here, and my jeans are really tight. Okay. I drank. I messed up, hold on. And people may ask, how would you be alive for 2 decades? Anyway, written out. And so, okay. Like, junior year of high school, which was my sophomore and junior year of end of sophomore year, beginning of, no,